You're just joining us. This is still Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5, the Unity Station. Yes, we have a guest in the house who is a mental health therapist. Okay, we want to look at coping with anxiety and challenges, in these challenging times, coping with anxiety, yes, and stress in these challenging times. Yes, that's it. Okay, we know a lot of things are happening. We see a lot of buildings collapsing. We see the prices of things go up every day. Should I say every hour? Okay, we see markets or buildings, go into flames. We see the school fees is there. A lot of things. We see accidents on the road. We hear of families, a lot of things happening, even to marriages. But I say to you, in all these things, remember that we're very strong. Nigerians were very strong. So we have a mental health therapist who wants to, give us some tips, challenges, strategies. Let me put it that way: strategies, and then the triggers. When you see some of these signs, what to do. Please join us as we welcome Ebere Chukwu Honor to the studio. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
you. The way you look is as if all these stories are not.
It's a strategy for coping.
Strategy for coping. I
Yes,
like that.
is.
I like that. And that is what we all want to learn. We want to be able to stand. Somebody once said Nigerians are strong. Said they are rugged. They weather all storm. But I think the storm now, especially the prices of things and the way, will I say, some calamities that befall some people, you find out that you just hear this person slumped and died because he couldn't stand. So let's begin to look at strategies right now, strategies in coping with anxiety and stress in this challenging time.
Thank you very much. The truth is, a lot has been happening, a lot is happening, and a lot will still happen. That's one of the first things that we must understand. This is life. No matter where you go, no matter how you see it, no matter who you are, there will be a lot of challenges that would have happened. There will be challenges that will be happening, and there will be challenges that will still happen. So once we start understanding that that's the basics of life, that's one of the foundational thoughts and beliefs that helps you cope with when they come. Okay, this is one of the things that is bound to happen. We're not saying that it must happen to you.
Okay.
We're not saying it must happen to you
someone
at a particular time or someone you know. But just knowing that there is the possibility of this happening. Within you, your body is already building. So if this happens, like, what can I do?
What can I do?
If this goes on, what will be my reaction if this happens? Because we must understand that there's a difference between stress and anxiety. Anxiety is how we cope with the fears of life. There is this fear of
the unknown.
Fear of the unknown, fear of tomorrow, fear of not meeting up, fear of success, fear of failure. There are a lot of fears people have. Fear of the trauma that has happened repeating itself. There's just a lot of fears, and that's where the anxiety spectrum comes in. But when we talk about stress, stress is how we react or respond to daily living.
Okay.
So for someone, what someone sees as stressful may not be stressful to someone else.
Somebody else, yeah.
So you see someone goes and maybe their car breaks down on the road, and someone is shouting, "This mechanic, I'm going to deal with you. Why would you allow this happen?"
And
for someone else, they could be like,
calm.
"Oh, maybe there's a reason why I have to stay by this." So you see, it's our ability to deal with the everyday challenges of living, of being a Nigerian. And like you said, Nigerians, we have a lot of resilience, capacity to bear a lot of
honestly.
But I think one of the things as well that helped us, that we have lost track of, is community. That's social support. Having people that when all hell is breaking loose, you have a safe space.
Yes.
You have a group of people that you can call and say, "This is what is happening to me now." Is that okay? So recently on one of the platforms, someone called and said he was arrested by the police for speaking up and this and this and this. Immediately, people started, "Which police station? Where are you?" And everybody teamed up to go and stand for him, told him what to do, what not to say, what. So that community, it builds your ability to cope with the challenges of life. And now imagine someone that is alone.
Honestly.
You don't have anyone to call. So social support, that community is something that we're losing out on. And that's one of the coping strategies. That's why a lot of people are, falling prey to the stress.
Because there's nobody to call. And that's the worst thing that can happen to anyone. That's the worst. When you look around you and you don't have anyone, someone once said something, I think a motivational speaker said something. They said, look, when you look at your contacts and you cannot pick 5 people, 5, if you have like 100 and you can't pick out 5 people that when you're in emergency, no matter what it is, even if you are the one that have messed up, that you cannot call them and say, look, I goofed, I'm at fault, and I'm in a mess, and I need help. If you don't have 5 people that can come up and stand by you and say, whatever it is, whatever you have done wrong, if you don't have it, you say, please start looking for another contact. As far as it's concerned, you don't have anybody.
That's what we call social goals. A lot of people don't have social goals. We just live life anyhow. If they do this, I will walk away. If they do that, I will. Yes. Science has proven that people that are in happy marriages, even people that are married, that stay together, live longer. Of course, we're not talking of the quality of marriage. They actually live longer than people who stay alone, because that's what social support does for you. At least we now talk of the quality of the marriage or the union or the relationship that you're in. That also helps. Another thing that can help us cope in this time is the way we think. Because one of the therapeutic methods we use is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, what it means, cognition has to do with your mind, your thinking process. Then the behavior talks about your reaction or your actions, what we can see. So a lot of times what affects what we do is how we think. Because how we think affects how we feel. And what a situation occurs, we think a certain thought, we feel a certain way, then we behave in a certain manner that goes around to affect another situation again. So in the long process, it's like a cycle. If we're able to check what we believe and what we think, it ends up adjusting how we behave. For an example, before you go to market with 20,000 naira, it's like you've done 1 month shopping for a family of 5. And you can eat comfortably, right? Now we know that you can go to the market and you come back with a black nylon. Did I throw away my money, right? You see what? Humor is also another part of it, because laughing about it.
See the way we are laughing about it. And it's not funny.
Helps. It's not funny, but it actually helps you to be able to cope. So one of the things that can help you when you're thinking about it is, this is what I have. I am not the worst, because no matter how bad
you see someone's
your matter is, you are not the worst. No, you are not. When you begin to think that way, okay, I have this money, I'm not the worst. I will go to the market. I will find a way around it. I know I can find a way around it.
Honestly.
Just that thinking that I know I can find a way around it makes you feel hopeful.
Wow. I think we need to go for a break. This is just interesting, We need to go for a break. And you heard what she said, There's nothing that has happened to you that has not happened to anyone before. It's not the first, you won't be the first person, okay? When we return from this break, we'll begin to look at how we can identify the triggers. Let's go, we'll be right back. Wow. We've been discussing coping with anxiety and stress in these challenging times, especially we as Naija. Well, we still have the mental health therapist in the house, Ebere Ona. So let's continue. Let's look at how we can identify the triggers.
So to identify triggers, especially for stress, there are signs in your body. Sometimes signs in your mind. Some people, when we become stressed, sometimes we begin to become irritable, like easily irritated by little things that probably even someone could joke with you and you just laugh about it. But now, because there is a lot of pressure and we're not coping well with it, there is the irritability, low mood, sadness, fears and tension that are in the mind and all that. there is also the effect on, we call it the physiological effect. Sometimes you will notice it in your body.
On your body, yeah.
There are some people that begin to have breakouts on their skin once they are stressed. Some people start having incessant headaches that don't stop. So when you start noticing those things, don't just rush and go and take a drug or
medications and yes.
Calm down. There's that video that year when the child was telling mom,
Mommy, calm down. Be calming down.
But that's really to say that there's something here. Sometimes your voice begins to rise.
You won't even know.
Heightened emotion.
Yeah.
Your voice, starts rising. For those that are prone to angry outbursts, it starts rising. Noticing those small signs, because it starts from self-awareness. What's going on with me?
Yeah.
That's where mindfulness comes in. What's happening to me now? What am I feeling?
Let me tell you one of my secrets. When I feel stressed, I like to see beautiful places. I like to look at beautiful pictures. I'll look at beautiful, I admire beautiful people. And once I start doing it, I see me smile. I'll just be looking at them, I'm smiling. And I'm seeing beautiful environments and I'm smiling. Like this morning as I was coming, I was looking through the window. I just saw some beautiful sights and I was smiling just, from nowhere. So for me, that's how and the next thing I'll just say to myself, cheer up, chin up, I just encourage myself. But for a lot of people, it's not that. So as an expert, what would you say? What advice would you give to people, instead of committing suicide? Because this era of, okay, this person has gone to, like, look at that man that went to hang somewhere and said he wants to kill himself. For what? So what would you say?
There's still the stigma attached to seeing a therapist, or you just say, are you mad? Is there something that is only mad people that see? No. There are times when you just need to talk with someone and the person giving you a different perspective will help you see better, like you said, what a friend can do for you, to give you a different perspective to life, to remind you of your purpose of existence. Is your purpose of existence centered on someone else or on the circumstances? Or is it centered on a sense of knowing that you have something to offer to the world? That we're down right now does not mean that we're down forever. So it's also finding a place where you can be motivated again to see this roadblock, this stumbling block, as a stepping stone to move ahead.
All right. So is that your final words to everyone watching you right now?
Like I said in the beginning, there will be stress before, there will be things that are happening right now, and there will still be things that will happen. But your ability to get back yourself, find a community, talk with people, take a breath. Please just breathe. Do that everywhere, in the car, in the market, at work. Just breathe. It helps put you in a calm state to make a better decision and see that there is hope for tomorrow.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm sure there's someone watching you right now that is saying to you, thank you. The person will say to you, thank you for coming at this time when I need these words. And we are saying to you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You heard what she said. Challenges have been there before and they will still come. More will come and there's still one on ground, So you don't really have to give up. You don't need to give up. Remember, there's that inner you that is a fighter. You need to fight to stay alive. Don't ever allow the thoughts of giving up. Don't ever allow the thought of not seeing the beauty in life. Remember that everything that our Creator has made is beautiful. So I say to you, chin up, smile, okay? Go, as she has said, exercise, make friends, and please stay away from toxic relationships. I know it also adds to stress and anxiety. All right, the program is still Good Morning Abuja. Right now, we want to take this cool music, Are you stressed? Is there anxiety? I believe that this music will cool that stress. Let's hear it, and we'll be right, and the program will continue.